Kiara and I are here to provide the land acknowledgement for the class of 2020.
We would like to give a special shout out to all of the Native graduates throughout Portland Public Schools. Portland Public Schools is located within the city of Portland, Oregon in Multnomah County. As graduates of Portland Public's class of 2020, it's essential that we acknowledge that every school building, court, field, stadium, office, local field trip, and learning space we've utilized during the many years of our learning journey has taken place on Indigenous land. As such, we honor the tribal people whose way of life, traditions, culture, and in every sense, ways of being was taken from them. Acknowledgement is a simple, powerful way of showing respect for those whose land we are on and step toward correcting the stories and practices, language, and art that erase Indigenous people's history and culture, and toward inviting and honoring the truth and relationship with our Indigenous land, resources, and communities. Indigenous people have lived here since time immemorial for thousands of years in the past. The Portland metropolitan area covers both sides of the Columbia River and both sides of the Willamette River, spanning into surrounding counties. In this broad area, there were numerous tribes, peoples, and villages that honored the abundance that the lands offered. We honor their history and acknowledge the sacrifices they made.
In the Portland metropolitan area, the tribes are the Multnomah, which is a band of the Chinook, the Wasco, Cowlitz, Klamath, Clackamas, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Malawa, and many other tribes who made their homes along the Columbia and Willamette River. Let us also acknowledge the robust present-day federally recognized tribes of this area, the Grand Ronde, Siletz, and Cowlitz. It is within the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde and the Confederated Tribes of Siletz, Indians, that many of the families of the bands just listed now reside. In addition, we would like to acknowledge the Chinook Nation, which has been seeking federal recognition for many years. The urban Indian community is made up of tribal diversity that originates from around the country, representing at least 380 tribes, with more than 100 tribes represented among Portland Public Schools students and families. Native students show resilience in school from the age of 3 when they enter preschool or PPS Native Montessori through high school graduation. The urban Indian community has a vivid history and present-day presence made up of people whose journeys have brought them to Portland through which ways of forced displacement or seeking better opportunities. Today, these tribes and communities celebrate their heritage, showing resilience and tenacity, which would be greatly admired by their ancestors.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Franklin High School graduation. My name is Fiona Jehoda, and this year I've had the honor to be Franklin's student body president. I know this ceremony is not what any of us envisioned, and there is much going on in the world to cause us worry and uncertainty. But I hope we can all take a pause and celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. 4 years ago, we began our high school journey in the Marshall campus. We couldn't even find our classes, scrambling to open lockers and meet new friends. Quickly, we adapted to our new community, slowly becoming a place that we could call home. We have shared some great memories these last 4 years. We got to experience the new campus, adopting a new team name, expanding the arts and music programs, witnessing great theater and dance performances, as well as enjoyed many sports successes. And now we have another shared experience, graduation. With the support of our friends, family, and the Franklin staff, we have reached the end of our high school career. This year, with all we have gone through, our achievement is even more meaningful. Graduation is a time where we can reflect on all of our accomplishments and the obstacles we have overcome. But it is also a new beginning, where we move to the next chapter of our lives. The class of 2020 is strong, and we are a part of a generation that will bring change, the change our world desperately needs, on so many fronts. Over these past 4 years, we have gathered the knowledge and experience needed to push forward and create a world of change, forming a community that can be embraced by all. I hope that that we will see each other soon in person to celebrate our successes. I know as alumni we will continue to make our Franklin community proud. Congratulations, class of 2020.
I wouldn't leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. I took the good times, I'll take the bad times. I'll take you just the way you are.
This is Guadalupe Guerrero, and as superintendent of the Portland Public Schools, I want to extend to the class of 2020 a hearty congratulations on your graduation. We are so proud of you, and you should be really proud of yourselves for reaching this important milestone, and also because we know it has taken a lot of hard work to get to this point. As an educator, I know that this moment is likely made possible because of a lot of individuals who have stood by you growing up and have been there to support you during your academic career. Graduations are a key moment for celebrating and reflecting on your successes and growths. You may be thinking about the long nights you may have spent completing an assignment or cramming for a test, or the countless hours working with your classmates preparing a science project or the high school musical. Or perhaps you're thinking about the time you spent on the field or on the court practicing for the big matches. Or maybe you're thinking about the homecoming dance you went to with your first crush, or the friends you've made over the years who have propped you up and provided a shoulder during those trying moments. You've each had a unique experience in arriving at this point. It is a celebration of all you've grown and the journey you've taken to get here. And for some of you, that journey has been a testament of your resilience and perseverance. I see you. Your teachers, aunties, abuelas, parents, cousins, mentors, coaches, friends, and others see you too. All of our graduates have shown resilience and adaptability as lifelong learners during this unprecedented health crisis. Given this pandemic, I want to acknowledge that you didn't have the senior year that you imagined. The PPS graduate portrait describes students prepared to lead change in the world. You've shown a commendable level of self-agency and leadership. Our community describes in our vision for the school system that we should aim to produce graduates that are inclusive, collaborative problem solvers, transformative racial equity leaders, influential global stewards, and optimistic future-oriented graduates. The class of 2020 has demonstrated many of these traits. It's had more than just a pandemic to confront. You have used your voice, your advocacy, and leadership to speak out and act on a range of important issues of our time, both those local and global. You have advocated and marched, testified at board meetings, spoken truth to power, and insisted that we need to act now on preserving your future in your advocacy for climate justice. Climate change is real and we must do better. Portland showed up strong in the youth-led movement, and it's resulted in real changes for how we make sure that every student understands this important topic. And as our country and our city confronts its history and its institutionalized systems of oppression, once again, you have continued to march and speak out against bigotry and racism. You have understood that this is a time for reflection, learning, and action. You have been clear in your declarations that Black Lives Matter. Having witnessed your leadership, I am hopeful that we will live in a more socially just world. To prepare graduates to lead change and improve the world, that's our vision for our graduates. And I believe that what future Portlanders will read about in history books, it's just that you are the generation truly prepared to lead meaningful change and improve the world so that children and youth from all unique and diverse backgrounds have the equitable opportunity to thrive. So as you go on to the next leg of your journey, rely on what you've learned, both about the world around you and also what you've learned about yourself. Be true to your sense of self-agency and moral compass. Pursue your emerging passions and continue to cultivate your gifts and talents. We are so very proud of you. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Greetings, everyone. It is such an honor for me to present this year's Franklin Awards. Year after year, Franklin acknowledges students, staff, and parents whose involvement, dedication, and efforts goes above and beyond expectations. The award reads as follows: to recognize those whose presence, attitudes, personality, and good deeds have made Franklin High School a better place to be. This year's students' recipients are Maxine Laterel, Flora Pollack, and Bethy Temelso. Congratulations. Next, we go with the staff. Again, 3 wonderful staff members who are now winners of this wonderful award. We have Will Fernandez, Moira Finnegan, and Miss Elisa Wong. And last but not least, parents. Janelle Alvi, Jill Grassman, and Lisa Zuniga. Thank you. Thank you very much to each and every one of you for the time you've invested at Franklin, for your passion and compassion. Thank you very much.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? So let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. Someone will come running down. They'll take you home. Even when the darkness crashes through, when you can't carry you, and
Dear class of 2020, we made it. Congratulations. It was only 3 years ago that we walked in as young, timid freshmen. We found ourselves looping through the square building of Marshall, walking back and forth to various fast food places, and buying snacks from Walmart. Then we transitioned to our new fancy building. If I'm being honest, I don't remember sophomore year, so let's skip to junior year. That was a fun one. I mean, come on now. We can't forget ACT and SAT testing. I think that year is the year most of us found ourselves, or our people. Senior year has now gone by, and here we are. I think the hardest part about senior year was trying to find parking at 8:20 a.m. Oh. These past 4 years have gone by just like that. Now, I know you may have been expecting a cliche speech about how high school was one of the best moments of our lives, and now we're moving on to bigger, better things. This is not that speech. I want you to take a moment and look around you. I want you to see the truth. Our eyes show us color. Our eyes show us gender. And our eyes show us differences. But our heart shows us the truth. We may look different, we may love different, and we may believe in different things. But at heart, we are all the same. Many adults still, till this day, don't understand. So now it is up to us. Life is too short to spend your time hating or judging someone else. You do not have to like the way they live, and you do not have to live the way they live. But you absolutely must respect the way they live. Being in this generation, we need to be better. It is tough being in this generation. We are so young for everything that we have to go through. We are the ones who must break the walls of society built by the past generations. It's not the same world they grew up in, and it's not the same world they're living in. Now, more than ever, we have the power. We all need to rise and take a stand. Speak up and don't act like there isn't a problem. And when the day comes, teach your kids that color is not a threat. Teach your kids that we live in a scary world. But I hope that day doesn't come. I hope that by then, our world would be better because of us. All of us are put through challenges of death, loss, and change. Just know that you will get through it because look at where you are right now. It's okay to be sad and it's okay to not be okay. But don't be sad forever because you will miss all the things that make you happy. And believe me, you will be happy. Standing here today, I want to use this chance to speak up about our world. Not the negatives or the positives, but how we are going to change this world. We, together, unified. We are all part of the same generation and even more, the same class. I know we may not all think the same and we may have varying opinions and sides, but we're all trying to fight for a better world. So fight together. Being alive should be a blessing every day, and I know that if he were here today, he would be cheering us on alongside the other staff. Mr. Tran, we know you're here with us. In the near future, I may not be able to see you and there may be hundreds of miles between all of us, but know that I'll be rooting for you. Although we've had our differences, we may not all be close to one another. One thing for sure is that we have grown up together. We have seen each other change throughout the years and watched as each of us chose our own paths. As we move forward, we will continue to grow together because all of us are a part of the class of 2020. Leaving here today, I want you to remember to always keep fighting for what you believe is right. There will be challenges ahead for sure, but always remember to live your days as if it were your last. Our futures hold many uncertainties, and there will be more no's than yeses. There will be more painful and heartbreaking moments, and of course, you will feel alone at times. But never forget your roots. Know that you are not alone because you will have a whole class of graduates standing beside you. While I can't predict the future, I have faith all of us will do great things. Don't let the sky be the limit. Soar higher. We are living proof of change. Don't accept the limitations put on us. I know it will be hard and I know it will hurt. As you graduate today, remember this feeling of accomplishment because you will feel it again. I'm so sorry for everything you are put through and everything you will have to go through. I cannot promise you that it will end today, and I cannot promise you that it will end tomorrow. I can promise you that it will end, and I have hope that it will end with us. Thank you.
I'm gonna make it alright. Got my head enemies crossed field in my sight. I think I be a situation, gonna make it right. In the shadow, the darkness, I stand in the light. See, it's our style, we keep it true. I had a bad year, a lot to go through. I've been knocked out, beat down, black and blue. She's not the one coming back for you. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. It takes disaster to learn a lesson. You're gonna make it through the darkest night. Some people betray more than cause treason. We're gonna make everything alright. Woo! Well, the worst of times they don't faze me. Even if I look and act really crazy, I won't wait till she betrayed me. Now my vision is no longer hazy. I'm very lucky to have my crew. They stood by me when she flew. I've been knocked down, beat down, black and blue. She's not the one coming back for you. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend.
Hi, my name is Audrey Kendall and I am your senior class vice president. I would like to start by expressing how proud I feel towards each and every senior this year. But I am here today, right now, to ask all of us to show appreciation towards our support systems, our people who make us feel empowered to work towards where we are today and what we want to accomplish beyond today. Whether it was walking with the security guard through the hallway and talking, or going to Miss Palmer's office to grab a snack, or just seeing Mr. McKinney give you the biggest smile. Every single staff member contributed to our accomplishment today. So if we can all take a moment to appreciate our family, whether it be our family at home or the family we found here at Franklin who support us, let's all thank them for their unconditional support, advice, and love. Thank you, Franklin families and staff, for contributing in every way you could to see your seniors succeed.
Distinguished board members, faculty, and staff of Franklin High School, parents, families, and friends of our honorees, the class of 2020. It is an honor and a privilege to come before you today as the proud principal of Franklin High School. Today we honor and pay tribute to an extraordinary class under extraordinary times for our world and our nation. It feels disingenuous to not address the obvious, that presenting under these circumstances is unprecedented, unnatural, undesirable, and seems unfair. It would give me no greater pleasure than the opportunity to give high fives and hugs and fist bumps as we salute and celebrate the class of 2020. As an educator, I recognize the importance of this endeavor and the effort required of many students to make it to this moment. The sacrifices that were made in an effort to strive for something that is essential and yet at times felt unattainable, for something that can never be taken away, their education. The Franklin class of 2020 has endured many experiences their senior year. They faced both triumph and tragedy, delights and despair. Members of this class cheered for their peers who competed and brought home 2 state championships to Franklin High School, a feat that had not happened in over 60 years, yet it happened twice for our school, further cementing their mark in our school history in just 1 week. However, the class has also experienced sad and unfortunate loss of our beloved counselor, Mr. Tran, an abrupt end to their school year, and the loss of many senior traditions such as Mayfete, prom, senior recognition assembly, and a live graduation. However, the class of 2020 has demonstrated a sense of resilience and a sense of passion that truly gives me hope. Despite your abbreviated senior year, your inner strength far surpasses any test score, academic grade, pass or incomplete that could ever be recorded. Class of 2020, you find yourself beginning your adult lives amidst a pandemic and civil unrest. However, you were made for this. We asked you to be Franklin strong, but you made Franklin stronger. You internalized our school-wide values and demonstrated them as a way of life, that through thoughtfulness, respect, organization, being neighborly, and being generous, you can leave our school and any other environment better than you found it. Class of 2020, you possess a championship pedigree, as you are also champions of social justice, champions of equity, champions of inclusion, and champions for change. You also possess 2020 vision, as you've always been able to see things so clearly. Your vision for a better Franklin and a better world has always been focused. You sought to bring comfort and solace to our school as we grieved. You saw the needs of our city and contributed resources during the pandemic. You saw the need for leadership and participated on the PPS School Board, Franklin ASB, Site Council, PTSA, the Franklin Mascot Name Change Committee, and helped create additional student and school committees such as the Franklin Athletic Council and Student Equity Team in an effort to give voice and perspective regarding students' experiences while at Franklin High School. However, class of 2020, your vision is needed on a broader scale. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has stated that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Class of 2020, these are both challenging and controversial times. The world is filled with so much uncertainty. Less than 3 weeks ago, we watched our nation collectively celebrate the graduating class of 2020. And now this past week, we watch our nation in pain. Let this be a reminder to you all as to how quickly the world turns and how difficult it can be to navigate. Class of 2020, let your heart and your values serve as your compass as you navigate this world, as you run, march, walk, and take steps towards creating a better tomorrow. It is expected that there may be some uncertainty, some angst, and some fear. You are human, and your emotions are normal. However, remember, your fear of fear is greater than the fear itself. Be willing to confront your fear. Be willing to tap into a force that is greater than imagined. That force is your potential. A place you often unintentionally go, but a place you visit. As principal, I've witnessed the class of 2020 demonstrate and share their potential with our school community as you've challenged leadership to reconsider and change past practices referred to as traditions that were not sensitive to the races, cultures, religions, and genders of all persons in our school community. Class of 2020, Franklin High School was a training ground for you to hone and fine-tune the skills that are needed for this world, the skills of empathy, compassion, critical thinking, social consciousness, racial equity leadership, a sense of self, and optimism. Things may appear bleak, But as poet Tyler Knott Grayson reminds us, we are the silver lining, every dark cloud that we ever find. There is no good looking for the light when you bring the light. Despite how fortunate things may have been these past months, you still are the light. Remember that yours was a class that even amid a pandemic were able to learn, to teach, to grow, and to evolve. You learned new standards and were forced to learn and experience new terms such as social distancing and distance learning. However, there are also practical and theoretical lessons to be learned that can be carried forward beyond this pandemic. To continue to support and enhance your community, to stay connected to others, to always remember where home is, and to remember that we are always only a call, text, tweet, or message away. Also remember to thoroughly wash your hands of any impurities, including self-doubt or anything that stands in your way of accomplishing your goals, and to keep 6-foot distance from negativity and other ideologies that do not align with your personal values. Class of 2020, be prepared to remove your masks and let your voices be heard. The winds of change are billowing, and the class of 2020 are the much needed air that our nation needs to breathe. Let your voices not be a whisper, but that of a mighty wind. Let your words and actions be seen and heard. Things may look different, but it does not change how far you've come or how far you will go. Don't let your heartache stop your heartbeat. Don't let your worries suppress your will. Don't let your disappointments stop your desire. Instead, let it lead you. Let it guide your steps. 2020 is not a year to be forgotten, but rather an extraordinary graduating class and a year to be remembered. Class of 2020, congratulations on your accomplishments, your graduation, your end of your high school years, and the beginning of your adult lives. Thank you.
Principal Frazier, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Benjamin Franklin High School, it is my privilege and honor to present the class of 2020, who have fulfilled the requirements of the state of Oregon and Portland Public Schools to earn a high school diploma.
Class of 2020, stand proud and face the world. To publicly indicate your graduate status, now is the time to move your tassels from the right to the left.
What's up, Franklin Class of 2020? I just want to say congratulations to the best class, period. Be proud of what you've accomplished and always remember to live your life to the fullest.